Thank you, Ray, for reminding me to record. So, excuse me, we're going to start with Jonathan. Will you please introduce yourself to all of us?
So I'm Jonathan. I'm from Florida. I'm currently with EXP as a brokerage. I've been doing real estate sales since about August. Prior to that, I was doing property management. So that's my
Excellent.
story.
Thanks for coming back. Charisse, will you please introduce yourself to everyone?
I'm Charisse. I've been a realtor for 3 months, and I am from Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm with Reese Nichols.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us for the first time. We love it. Melissa.
I'm in Navarre, Florida. I am with 28 Realty Company, and I am a new agent. I am fresh. Like, I just got my license not even a month ago.
Well, congratulations and welcome to the call for the very first time. Love it. And we're going to go to the opposite extreme, or the extreme opposite, and have Chris Dowell introduce himself.
Well, I'm Chris Dowell. I've been doing real estate here for 33 years. I work for Berkshire Hathaway. I'm from the barbecue capital of the world. And this is my first time I've been on the Hangout or the Zoom today.
I was going to say. Thank you, Chris, for always being with us. You got me all choked up. Excuse me, Brooke, will you go next, please?
Yeah, my name is Brooke Severance. I am based in New York City. I've been doing residential real estate for about 4 years and currently transitioned to a more heavily focused commercial real estate. And this is my first time on the call.
Thank you so much for joining us. In case I get stuck again, we're going to go Jamie, and then in Chicago, please, I'll get it once you say it a couple of times.
My name is Jamie, and I'm with eXp Realty. I've been licensed coming up on 2 years, and I'm in the mountains of Western North Carolina, about 30 minutes west of Asheville. And this is my first time on this call. Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Please go.
Hi, my name is Idais, and everybody calls me Ida. So if that's a little bit easier, that is completely fine. I am located in Chicago, but I've been licensed for about 2 years now. I was in property management, just like Jonathan before, and really focus mostly on the smaller and medium-sized multifamily with Fulton Grace Realty.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. I'm going to save Ray for later. So Scott, please introduce yourself.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Scott Eisenberg. I've been in real estate as an attorney for 20 some odd years, 19 years with my own practice. And I currently hang my real estate license here in New Jersey with EXP.
Excellent. And this is your first time on the call, correct?
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. Whitney, will you please introduce yourself? I know that you were having a hard time kind of in and out. So we'd like to know who you are, where you are, what brokerage you're with, how long you've been a realtor, and if this is your first time on the call.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having weird Zoom problems. Novitsky. I am located in the Raleigh area in North Carolina. I'm going on 3 years as an agent, and this is my first time on the call.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we're going to go to Jesse.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sweet. My name's Jesse. I'm from Florida. I've been a residential real estate agent for only half a year, so send me all your luck. This is my first time on the call.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Lori, can you unmute? I know that she could hear us earlier. So Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay. My name is Lori Raymond, and I have been a realtor for 4 years. I work in the Steubenville, Ohio area, which is on the panhandle of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And this is my first time on this call.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And Jill. Jill, if you can unmute yourself, Jill Kaczynski, if I came anywhere close to that, if you could unmute yourself and tell us who you are, where you are, how long you've been a realtor, what brokerage you're with. I don't know if she can hear us. It looks like she's having a little bit of trouble. I'm going to give Tanya one more chance to see if she can unmute and tell us who she is. Okay, well, we'll come back to you guys if you guys can, Jill and Tanya, if you can get yourself unmuted and share with us. But I want to first remind everybody to drop their information in the chat so I don't forget. So there likely will be someone on here who you really connect with and you want to connect with further. So drop your information in the chat, your name, your phone number, your email, that kind of thing, so that people can follow up with you after the call if they choose. We did have 2 more people come in. Damaris, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you are, what brokerage you're with, and how long you've been a realtor?
Hi, so my name is Damaris. I'm with Keller Williams Point North here at the Woodbury office. I've been an agent for about 2 months.
Wonderful. And where's Woodbury?
In Nassau, right on the border of Nassau and Suffolk and Long Island.
Okay, so Florida?
No, Long Island.
Oh, Long Island, sorry. And then who else did we have come in? Well, there was 2 people, but I think somebody left. So I would now love to introduce you to our speaker. He's actually one of our group members who just provides a lot of value and content for our group and helps answer questions. And he and his co-author just recently released this book. It's called The Startup Agent, and it is their attempt, and I forgot to make Ray a co-host. Let me do that in case he decides he wants to share his screen at all. There we go. It is their attempt to stop the dropout rate of realtors. Once you get your license, there's a million things that you are, balls are coming at you from everywhere, all kinds of different things. And so this book they created is really to help you be a successful agent. And it's not just for new agents. However, that's what it's focused on, but there's information in there that can help anyone and everyone. And so since I am stumbling through all of this, I just would love to introduce you to Ray and turn the call over to him and let him share with you chapter 7 of this book and how it can really help you. So Ray, please take it over, and thank you for being here this morning.
Of course, Debbie, I'm sorry you don't feel so hot. I hope you feel better today. Everybody, my name is Ray. Thanks for having me today. I've been in real estate for 30 years. The majority of that was always as an investor. When COVID happened, my wife and I have 5 kids and 3 dogs, and I lost 2 businesses. We had to make some changes. So I've been in and out of about 2,000 properties in 7 different states here in the USA over the last 30 years. And what I realized is that I needed to be on the front end as well as the back end of real estate. So my wife and I got our licenses, joined EXP, started a team here in Chicago. And as we've been building that up, I also launched a podcast. We're right at about 100 episodes now, called the Agent Podcast, just for real estate agents. That came from me coaching people and working one-on-one with people and having really unbelievable conversations that I just wanted to get out there to help other agents that were struggling. And as Debbie said, my buddy Walt and I recently wrote The Startup Agent. And the framework of the Startup Agent is basically everything I've done over 30 years and over 45 different companies that I've had, of which 40 have failed, 5 have done well, and 2 have been acquired by public companies. So I have a lot of failure under my belt, which has given me a lot of experience. Today in this book, what I wanted to talk about was decision. And that's really what chapter 7 is about. Chapter 7 is about making a decision, committing to that decision, and creating a vision for yourself. So I have a question. This is requires some group participation. Who here has actually decided to be a real estate agent? Will you raise your hand? Okay, so let's go around and talk a little bit. Chris, what does that mean for you?
Well, freedom.
Okay.
You know, I didn't want to have a desk job, and I wanted to choose. I didn't want someone to choose what I was going to do during the day or in the week. I wanted to choose what I wanted to do and who I wanted to work with and stuff.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, what I love about real estate is, it's kind of the challenge of managing the deals, right? The baseline is sales, negotiation, and marketing, but inside the deals, it's the pitfalls, it's the things that you have to have eyes ahead of, and you have to be responsive to, and it's never always the same, and you always have players that are going to drop the ball. So I find that challenge, continually rewarding, actually.
I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Guys, who else raised their hand? Arias, talk to me.
It's Irais and or Ida. And I think that I decided that I was going to go ahead and like step into the discomfort, versus like the security of just doing kind of like what's expected to do the 9 to 5 and, receive a check every day. So I think that was like the biggest decision when I was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent. It was like to step into the uncertainty and just like really believe in that I could do it and make it happen.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Melissa? Can you unmute, Melissa?
I apologize. Flexibility is the main thing that what interested me in doing real estate. Being able to set my own schedule, work around raising my littles that I have here at home. And my main thing is we live around a lot of military, and there's a lot of military coming in and leaving the area, and a lot of them are lost. So helping them be able to get comfortable in the area and find a home. So.
I love it. What about you, Brooke?
I had first gotten in for some flexibility of schedule, but I think longer term, I just see a lot of upside of helping people like buy and hold mentality, teaching people about one of the most important assets that they're ever going to buy in their life for a lot of people, and otherwise learning how to leverage those and grow potentially a business.
Okay, I love it. So Jesse, you're a newbie. What about you?
I guess to piggyback off of pretty much everyone else, flexibility. I did more of like blue collar work all growing up, and it just wasn't a fit for me. I'm more of a people person. So I've always come back to, I should get my real estate license. So I finally was like, let's move from Chicago to Florida and let's do it.
I love
that's
it.
kind of where I'm at now.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? Damaris?
I'll share.
I think Sharice wanted to share.
It's okay. She can go.
All right.
Well, for me, it's building generational wealth for my family. I worked at a Fortune 5 company for many, many years. Was under a significant amount of stress, literally made myself sick. over it. So if I can have that work ethic for someone else, I can definitely do it for myself. So I've been an investor in real estate for some years now. So there's no time like now to really just go full time and do what I feel is a passion of mine.
I love it. Whitney, you want to go and then we'll have Charisse?
Sure. So I'm not quite a newbie, but I'm in my third year. I'm probably in a position a lot of moms were, like I'd stepped out of my corporate job to stay home with my kids for quite a number of years. And the thought of going back to just corporate life when I was ready to get back into the working world just wasn't something I wanted to do without, the flexibility. And I didn't want to have to start over, making not very much money. So I think like most people, I kind of dug deep, did some soul searching about what it is that really makes me tick. And I love the area I live in. And so I think at the core, I just love being kind of a tour guide, and that led into real estate, and it's been pretty awesome.
I love it. Charisse?
I've always enjoyed going to open houses or estate sales just to see the house. So I said, well, why not be an agent?
And that was it? That was your decision? I love it.
That was it.
Okay, cool.
Ray, I'll just note that Lori put in the chat, I wanted to not have a ceiling on my earnings while providing service to folks.
I love it. So guys, one of the reasons that I asked that question is one of the things that I see over and over again. A lot of people that fail out of this business or don't make it, that make up this 87% failure rate, is because they don't actually make the decision to be a real estate agent, right? They're not committing to it. They think it's a good idea. They, watch HGTV. They see all these different shows where the business looks easy and they hear they can make a lot of money, but the decision to be a real estate agent was never actually made. And, this goes for anything in our life, how we decide to wake up and how we decide to spend our time, and whether we want to go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or watch Netflix or focus on lead generation for our business. So it's always interesting to me to meet new agents, seasoned agents, and really understand what is the decision that they made to be in business. And to be honest, I'm super impressed with this group here, with the decisions that everybody has made to be real estate agents. So congratulations to you guys for, taking your power back and deciding what you want to do. So let's ask another question. What is one of the fears that you have in making the decision to be a real estate agent? Who wants to volunteer first?
The
Jessica?
For sure.
uncertainty of when you're going to get your next paycheck.
Okay.
That is
Jamie?
the one biggest fear.
Yep. Jessica?
I say fear of failure and also fear of maybe not meeting somebody's expectations, even though
Okay.
you feel you've gone above and beyond, but having
Oh, we lost you, Jessica. Is everybody else still there? I think we lost Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm here.
I'm back.
Okay.
Mine keeps going in and out, so.
Okay. All right. Who else has fears?
I had a fear of talking to people when I first started.
So Chris, how'd you get through that? Let's talk about that. You've been in it 33 years now. Obviously you overcame that.
Yeah, people would not believe I couldn't talk to people back then because I was always on the computer, big mainframes. How I got over it is my broker told me get out and start talking to people. And our goal was at that time, I had to knock on 150 doors a day. That was the goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of doors.
He did it as a joke, thinking I wouldn't reach 150, but I wanted to prove him 150 was no problem. So I started knocking on doors at 7:30 in the morning, which most people, don't like that. And I knocked on doors until it was dark.
That is
Love it.
determination.
Yeah, that's amazing. If only you had a step counter back then, huh?
Oh, exactly.
All right, who's next? Who wants to share about fears? Charisse?
My biggest fear is not having enough listings.
You are not alone in that fear. I promise you. Okay, who else? Melissa?
I am with a smaller brokerage. We just started in the area, so my fear is standing up to all the big area.
Anybody else?
For me, is letting my support system down. So I quit a job where I made six figures, well over six figures, to do this, and not know when my next paycheck is going to come in. But I have a strong support team at home, and I feel like they're rooting for me no matter what. So when I feel like not making those calls, I just think about that, and it kind of gets me through the day.
I love it. I think that's a beautiful thing. So here's the thing about decision, guys, and thank you all for sharing your fears. Everybody's fears are very valid and very real on a daily basis. The thing is, when you're thinking about making decisions, once you commit to being a real estate agent, there's a handful of things that you need to do every single day to build your business. And I'm going to pull up a graphic that I have here and show you what those 5 things are. Bear with me 1 minute here. And, you know, part of the reason Walt and I wrote this book is to simplify everything out there. There's a ton of real estate books. There are a ton of courses. There's a ton of YouTube videos. And ultimately, what we saw was a lot of people freezing, right? And getting into this position where they actually wouldn't do anything because they didn't know what to do first. And that's part of like my personal mission, why the podcast exists, why I wrote this book, why we're trying to do the things that we're doing in order to move everybody forward. So I want to show you this cycle. Can everybody see that screen? So this is the goal. And this came from my own personal problems of trying to figure out, what do I need to be doing every day? Like, what are the decisions that I'm making every day that's going to impact my business? And we all know we're in the lead generation business, right? That is our goal. Our goal as business owners, as independent entrepreneurs, startup founders, business owners, is to generate leads. From those leads, we need to set appointments. From those appointments, we need to add contacts to our database. We need to create content to provide value, and we need to attend appointments. You can do all 5 of these things in 4 hours a day. You just need to systematize it. So for me, I focus 1 hour on lead generation. Setting appointments, it used to take me an hour. Now it takes me about 30 minutes to set appointments with the help of some automation like Calendly and CRMs. Each one of those appointments automatically goes into my CRM. So I add between 5 and 10 contacts a day into my CRM. And then I attend at least 1 appointment, usually 3. Now, I do that differently than a lot of people because of my podcasts. So I'm meeting people through podcasts. I'm meeting people through Facebook groups. I'm meeting buyers and sellers based on appointments that my wife and I have. And then from all of this, I can create content. I'm able to create content through my podcast. I'm able to create content through meeting people. I'm able to create content by walking into my favorite coffee shop and introducing myself and saying, hey, I'd like to promote your business on my socials. And I'll upload this PDF. But today's topic is decisions. And it's really important that when you're getting up in the morning and you're starting your day, and like, I get it, we all have kids, we all have urgent things. But these 5 things are the important decisions that will affect your business on an absolute daily basis. So I'm going to download this real quick here. I'll put it in a PDF. upload it into the chat for you guys to have. Now, who wants to talk about what their daily schedule actually looks like? Any volunteers? How
I
about
can do-
Chris? Oh, Lori, sure, please.
I try to follow a schedule because if I don't try to follow a schedule, everything goes awry. I do paperwork most generally in the morning from 9 to 2, showings from 2 to 6. Obviously, those things bend when a client needs them to bend. But if I don't spend that time on my computer working, farming, looking over files, things get missed. And then, of course, scheduling clients in that realm of where if they work daylight or afternoon turn is a big deal as well.
Okay. Who else?
I'll go.
Okay.
Pretty much my day consists of connecting with people. And usually what I do is I come in, I look at my computer, look at what my team's got scheduled for me to, my appointments and all my appointments I need to set up. I make those in the morning, confirm them. And then pretty much the rest of the day, I'm either on an appointment or following up with somebody throughout the day. I'm typically not doing the busy work because I have a team that does all that for me.
Awesome. After 33 years, you got it down, Chris. Who else? How about some of the newer agents? Tell us what you guys are doing.
Oh, this is Jessica. I've actually been an agent since April. I'm still trying to figure out what my schedule looks like. I mean, I have a schedule set every day, and usually it's, trying to build up my lead funnel on my own. So that's pretty much it. And following up with, existing leads that I have. But I'm still trying to figure out my momentum for success.
Okay. Who else? Jonathan, Jesse, either of you guys are newer agents, right?
Yeah, I would say I piggyback off of Jessica. Same thing, just trying to figure out, build rapport with people and do lead calls, cold calling, sending emails, trying to just build relationships with the people that I've been in contact with.
Okay. So guys, one of the things that I see over and over again is people inundated with information. And this is a very simple business, right? Real estate is a relationships and people business. That's it. I always say people and partners. That's how you make deals. That's how you break deals. Right? So following a simple framework of how you're actually managing your activity. We can't manage time. We all have the same 24 hours a day, right? Elon Musk gets it done. Jeff Bezos gets it done. Yes, it's at a whole nother scale, but we all have that same time. So focusing on what gets your results is what's most important. And that's the power of decision, right? So like, I'm going to challenge all of you to every time you make a decision with what you're going to spend time on and you're going to invest your time on, is that the right thing to do for your business right now and today? That's going to be very important. And that's what's going to differentiate you between an unbelievable agent and an agent that fails. That's it. It's only going to be what you spend your time on. And if you take one thing away from everything that we've talked about here, it's just question what you're investing your time on and future pace what the result's going to be. Right? This success cycle that I created for me came because I went from having 50, 60 hours a week to create to having 15 hours a week during lockdown and COVID. And I couldn't get the results that I needed in 15 hours. I needed a better way. So I started asking better questions, which was, how do I get 80% of my results with 20% of my effort? And that's where I came up with, okay, I can commit to 20 hours a week. These are the things I'm going to do in 20 hours a week. And that's what's going to move the needle in my business. And today, that's what works. And that's how I look at our lead generation channels. That's how I look at marketing. That's how I look at our content creation. Everything we're doing to build an audience, to get in front of people, to offer value. Everything has to do with what's going to get 80% of the results. That's all I'm focused on. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm okay with shipping good enough at 80%. It's fine. Just get it out there. Otherwise, it'll never get done. So all of your tactics, all of your strategies, whatever you're implementing into your business, just go at 80%. Have those conversations before you're comfortable. Put out that, buyer packet or that listing packet at 80%, and you can make improvements over time based on actual conversations, what your clients are actually telling you, what you're learning. All these little tiny decisions will make huge impacts in your life, and it will move you along faster.
Ray, I'd like to just make a comment on your flow there
Sure.
about content, creating content. And I think one of the easiest things that I could ever think of for an agent to do would be after an appointment with a client, whether it's a listing client, whether it's a buyer that you're showing houses to or whatever. Think of one question that they have asked you during your time with them and make a short video about what that question was and your answer to that question. Because if one client has that question, lots of clients have that question. You probably get asked the same questions over and over and over again. And I think what draws people to real estate agents are the people who take away the scary. If you can make buying real estate as the least scary as possible, then they want to work with you. They want to know that you know the process, you understand it, and you're going to help them through it. And just if you meet with a client every day, if you are having coffee with a prospect or a trade partner or anything, and you think of one question that they've asked you during your time, and at the end of that appointment, you leave and you make a quick video. It could be a minute or less. And if you make it less than a minute, it can be a YouTube short or whatever. And so you're just building up that content and answering all the questions that buyers and sellers have, and people are going to want to work with you.
I think that's an awesome suggestion. I am totally going to remember that.
Yep, I love that. Debbie, I don't know how we are on time, but do we want to open up to Q&A and just talk?
Yes,
or
please do. Does anybody have any questions for Ray?
I do.
Guys, fire away.
How can I get some leads?
There are a ton of different strategies that you can do for leads, as I'm sure you know. What are you doing today?
Besides paying for Zillow and Realtor, I'm trying to get away from paying.
Yeah, so I would cancel both of those immediately. You don't need to pay for leads. You need to do, I don't say you can do a couple things. One of the strategies that I employ is Facebook Marketplace. And basically what I do is I go and create a listing with some art in Canva and say, hey, if you're currently renting a home, there's a good chance that what you're paying for rent, you could also be paying on mortgage. If you're interested, message me. And then what I do is I basically take a listing without an address, just a street, city, zip code, put it in there, usually a 3+2, depending upon the area, anywhere from $2,200 to $2,800. And then I write in the description, are you interested in owning a home? Have you ever thought about home ownership? Again, message me. So my wife and I generate 300 to 500 leads a month doing this method. Okay. We convert 10% into conversations. Of those conversations, so let's just use 300, we convert 30 into conversations. Of those 30, 3 will end up going to a lender to go through the pre-approval process. Of that, 1 to 2 will turn into buyers. This is a buyer strategy. It's not a listing strategy, but it works. We've been able to build our database up to a couple thousand people quick. I put them into a 24-month drip campaign. That drip campaign, the majority of it has nothing to do with real estate. I literally Googled 100 years of Chicago history, went to a bunch of websites, copy and pasted facts, built it into a Google Doc. Then I copy and pasted it into email sequences and text sequences, talking about our community, the history behind buildings, how real estate is everywhere, that, hey, this antique shop used to be a bed and breakfast, right? Little stuff like that. In the world we live in today, attention is the biggest asset. We're trying to capture attention. We're trying to keep attention. Our job as agents is to be in front of all of our people as much as possible. And we have to do that by thinking different, right? We have to do different strategies. If you guys are interested in doing a Facebook marketplace training, I would be happy to do that with you guys. Send me a friend request and message me and we can put something together. And I can show you real time how it's done, and I'll send you guys all the templates.
You know, Ray, I think that would be an amazing thing. Let's let's create an event in the Facebook group and have you do that training, and that way we can have any of the agents who aren't here today. I bet a lot of people would be really interested in joining that training.
Yeah.
So so yes, let's do that. Afterwards we'll figure out a date and put an event together.
Okay.
You going to your mom's too?
All right. All right. So Debbie, you and I will do that. Guys, what other questions? Like, I'm happy to answer questions and talk and help.
Melissa.
Okay. There's a couple, like 2 or 3 part, but even though I live in a small military town, it's also a vacation town. So we're very small. You know, we have 45 minutes away Destin on one end and 45 minutes away to Pensacola on the other. So here, and I feel like my biggest struggle is people want vacation rentals. They want to do Airbnbs. And yes, we have military coming to the town, but a lot of them want to do like 6-month short rentals. So I struggle with trying to find for people who actually want to come and buy in this area and stay planted here. How do you go about finding leads when you're kind of strapped?
Yeah, so I think the first exercise that I would do if I were you, Melissa, is to really like write down and get clear on what you just said, right? So here's one bucket. I have this audience that wants STRs. And what does that look like? Can I service them? Okay, fine. Then I have this bucket that is vacation rentals. Okay, so does that mean a bunch of people own Airbnbs? Well, if that's the case, then how can you service those people looking for Airbnbs or VRBOs or whatever they are, right? Because that's a second audience that you can define. And then you have actual residents, right? That you can build to your database and add and nurture. So if you can define and get clarity on, let's say, those 3 buckets as an example of the people that you're servicing, then you can figure out what is the best marketing plan to get to those people. And I think one of the changes that has really happened over the last 10 years specifically is everything used to be sales heavy and then a little bit of marketing. And today it's marketing heavy, and then the conversion happens quicker because it's not a forced sale, right? So your job is to build your brand as an agent. And I don't mean your company's brand. I mean, literally your name as an agent that services these 3 areas. And then once you have clarity on that, I would go to all of your partners, attorneys, estate planners, title people, escrow people, local banks, especially if there's specific banks that work with the military. Make yourself known, build all those relationships. And that will by default help you create a better referral network. And your only job is to be seen and get found. That's where I would start if I was in your shoes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Can I add just one thing to that, Ray? And
Yeah.
Melissa, in my area, we have a company who is a very large short-term rental property manager. And they have, I think, 250 properties here in the area, and they're kind of starting to expand into other markets. But they have relationships with realtors who, when someone's looking for a short-term rental, they will go to them and say, you know, we're thinking about buying this house. Is it in the right zone? You know, how does it look with this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms? You know, how do you think this would rent? Would turn over as a short-term rental? And they help their clients decide on which houses they should buy as a short-term rental based on their statistics and you know, things that they've had in the past. So they have a great relationship with the realtor, and so when they send somebody to them to turn their house, the house they just purchased, into a short-term rental, that company is going to manage, anytime that that property manager, property owner decides they want to buy another short-term rental, they get sent back to that agent. So they don't try to, you know, to take that business from them. Because it's such a good relationship, they always make sure that property owner goes back to the agent who helped them buy that property in the first place. So it's a great cycle, and it's just like what Ray was talking about with partners.
Awesome. Thank you.
I would actually like to try to partner with those on here that are in Florida, because everybody comes here from Florida. I personally am from Florida, and I moved here a little over 2 years ago. But anytime I get any kind of a referral from someone, because I don't have the $500 to buy Zillow leads or whatever else, I don't have that money to buy that because I'm a newer agent. I mean, I've been licensed almost 2 years, but still newer. But I moved here to this area from 600 miles away. I came from Florida, and everybody that I hear that comes here is from Florida. I am trying to tap into people who are in Florida to tell them to send them my way. I'm trying to figure out how to make those connections with Florida agents. And of course I am with EXP, so I try to do it with EXP people as well. So
Sure. So Jamie, one thing that I'll say is make sure that you save the chat on here, because you have heard that there's quite a few people on here from Florida.
I did save that.
Secondly, I don't know if you've looked in the files of our group.
I'm getting feedback from someone. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, maybe that's better. So if you look in the files of our group, we have the referral list. And so you can download that spreadsheet, and anyone who's filled it out, it'll have their name, their phone number, and their address.
Where's this file?
It's in our Facebook group, in the files section of our Facebook group.
I don't know if I'm in your Facebook group. I somehow I started getting emails from you all. That's how I got here. So I don't even know if I'm in your Facebook group and what that group is.
Okay,
I'm like, where's the Facebook group?
Yeah.
All right. So when I dropped my contact information in the chat, the Facebook group is in that.
Okay.
In that part. Oh, and then Ray just added it right there. So in the file section, you'll find
real estate agent.
The answers to the questionnaire. If you haven't filled out the questionnaire, please go do that. And that will add your name to the referral list. And so the whole intent of that list is that when you have a referral, you have a place to go and search for an agent, right? Hopefully the intent of these calls was for us to get to know each other a little bit better, so that, you know, when Jesse sends you a referral for somebody moving from Florida, he knows you and he can say, yeah, call Jamie, you know, here's her information, or I'll have her call you, which is a much better solution.
Right.
Let me have Jamie call you. But anyhow, it's just getting to know the people. But that spreadsheet is, you can go in there and you can sort it. Once you download it, you can sort it by zip code, by state, whatever you want to sort it by. And then it also lists what brokerage they're with. So Jamie, if you want to start with EXP, because I totally get how EXP works. You can do that. You can start with those people and reach out to them. Hey, I'm Jamie, and I have a lot of people moving here from Florida, so I just wanted to reach out and make sure that you know that I exist and that I'd love your referrals, whatever. So that's what it's all about.
Yes,
I want it
that
to
is
be
why I'm here.
I want it to be as easy as possible for you guys to connect with each other and pass business. And if you're not in the Facebook group, please go join. I watch business get passed back and forth, and they are every single day, multiple times a day. I need an agent in wherever, there's all kinds of posts like that. I need an agent in XYZ city. So join the group and reap some of those referrals.
Thank you.
We are almost out of time. I don't know. Do we want to just continue the conversation, or do we want to do a quick breakout room?
I keep saving this chat. Is that the idea? Like I have to save it when we get to the end, so I'll have all the info.
Yeah,
just okay.
Save it before you leave.
Okay,
yeah, just save it before you leave.
And when we're done, I'll make sure that I hang on for a few minutes so that anyone who wants to save it can get it. So, yeah.
And guys, seriously, shoot me a text and feel free to ask me any questions, and we can exchange information, contact cards, all that good stuff. And then I have some free courses and stuff. And I also have some awesome podcast episodes for newer agents that I can share with you guys. I'm happy to send all of that.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. Can you talk a little bit about advertising? Is it worth it on Facebook? I mean, you get inundated with all this like Instagram, Facebook, social media advertising. Is it worth it?
Yeah, so we don't pay for any leads. So we don't run Facebook ads. We don't run Instagram ads. We don't run TikTok ads. We don't buy anything from Zillow. We don't do any of that. If I'm going to spend money, that money is way better spent partnering up with a lender, or partnering up with an attorney, or partnering up with an estate planner, and actually having an event at a local business that I can bring business to, right? So there's 3 wins in just doing that. So let's say you wanted to do a first-time home buyers education seminar, right? I may go to a local business, introduce myself, work out a flat rate with them, have first-time home buyers be able to show up for $5, $10 at either my cost, or you can ask for them, to cover their own, like $8 a ticket, $10 a ticket, and then tie it to a charity. 20% goes to charity, something like that. And then have a couple guest speakers that can dive in with you, such as somebody like Scott, who's an agent and an attorney, right? Maybe a CPA, somebody who can talk about the pros and cons of actually owning a home versus renting a home, right? The only difference is you're paying your mortgage versus somebody else's. So putting together something educational like that, Jessica, to answer your question, is a way better investment than throwing your money at Facebook, right? You're just making Facebook rich because you have no idea what's going to come out of it. Doing an event like that, you at least know that you just created a relationship with a business owner who's local, who now knows your name and face. You created a partner with whichever, partner, again, CPA, estate planner, attorney, whatever you brought in and spent some time with them one-on-one. Those 2 investments are worth way more than any ad you're going to run on Facebook. And that's how I look at it. So if you have money to spend and you want to spend money, I would do local events. And specifically right now, what's happening in the market is 25% of new buyers are investors, and something like 25 to 30% of the market are first-time home buyers. So like for us, those are the markets I'm spending time in, and one of my lenders has lending in all 50 states. and he has no doc loans, which are great for investors. Right. So that's part of what I'm cultivating right now. Like, hey, I want to serve investors. Interest rates just dropped. It's a good opportunity. If you have cash, but don't have a typical job or don't have, tax returns that are quote unquote normal, now's a good time to buy.
Excellent. Anyone else have a question for Ray? Sorry, Jessica, I muted you. When you're unmuted, we get some feedback when other people are talking. So if you want to talk again, just unmute yourself.
I just wanted to ask, is this every Thursday at 10?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Even next Thursday?
Oh,
well,
thank
maybe
you.
not next Thursday.
Thank you, Chris. I did see your question at the very beginning and I thought, oh, I'll get to it. But of course, I have such a bad memory. We will not be meeting next Thursday because I want everybody to enjoy spending time with their family and stuffing their faces with turkey and gravy and all that good stuff. But we will be back the following Thursday. So yes, this is an every Thursday call with the exception of something like Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys will all join us again the following Thursday. I do send out reminder emails the evening before so that you know that we're doing this, and then I actually have an ongoing registration. So if you've ever registered for the meeting, the morning of the meeting, I send out those Zoom reminders. So yeah, I hope you will all come back and join us again. Ray, thank you so much for your time this morning and providing us all with some juicy information and all the effort you put into helping people in the Facebook group. We really appreciate that.
Of course. Did everyone get something of value from this today? Awesome.
Definitely.
That's my goal. Awesome.
Excellent. So has everyone downloaded the chat? All right. Well, at 8:58, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it for us, and say I look forward to seeing you in the coming weeks and seeing you in the Facebook groups, passing referrals, getting referrals. I love that. So thank you so much for being a part of our community, and I will look forward to seeing you again.
Bye, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharice, it looks like you're still looking to download the chat, so I'm holding the meeting open. Did you find it?
To download it, I saved it, but I'm trying to figure out how to download it.
No, just by hitting save chat. So the three little buttons, when you say save chat, it will automatically download it on your computer.
I've clicked that 3 times ever since we've been on here. I've been clicking save chat.
It has saved it on your computer. It saves mine in my documents. When I go into the files, that's where I find mine, but I'm not sure exactly where you'll find yours.
Okay, so I'll do some research to see that. And thank you. This was interesting.
Good deal. Well, if you're not in our Facebook group, I hope you'll join.
Yes, I will.
All right. Thanks, Sharice. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.